Have you ever had a bad day? I have. Did you have a great childhood? I didn't. I was a child of an alcoholic father with all the challenges that go along with that. Have you ever felt like quitting altogether? I have, in March of 2016. Having spent many successful years in the business, I reached a low point. I was facing a crisis in my private life and in my business life. It was so bad that I was seriously considering leaving the financial services profession and starting a new career. But stay with me, there is hope, always. It took me just 18 months to raise myself from failure to success, but it was my indirect association with MDRT at the time, which definitely changed the course of my life. Along the path to success, I learned 5 very important lessons that I will share with you today. The first lesson is to make a decision. You can't go in 2 directions at the same time. You either want it or you don't. You need to make up your mind and decide to stand up from the terrible situation you are in. However, you need to decide it in your mind, but also in your heart. You need to want it with all your thoughts and all your emotions, because that is the start of the journey. The second lesson is to have a mentor. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I made my decision to go far. In 2016, I was facing both personal and professional difficulties. I was burned out and even struggled to meet the minimum production requirements. That was the moment when I decided to write an email to Sandro Fote about my problems, and Sandro offered to become my mentor. And by implementing his ideas day by day in 8 months' time, I managed to qualify for MDRT. And my first MDRT Annual Meeting was a life-changing moment for me. It is fantastic that MDRT members and aspirants have the chance to have a mentor. Sandro was incredibly inspirational for me. Whatever he advised me always worked. I learned to have a business that I run instead of a business that runs me. I learned about special prospecting, how to have a unique client service, how to work with very wealthy clients. My business is totally changed now. It was a very successful journey with Sandro. I am so grateful. Thank you, Sandro. The third lesson is to be committed. Without commitment, I wouldn't have come this far. It is very important not only to set our goals, but also to be committed to them. When you start implementing new ideas, the results might not come immediately. You need to repeat the process again and again. And I was in an environment where my colleagues kept doing the same activities which I had been doing before. And sometimes it was very difficult because all day long I heard to my past activities, but I was the only one doing something absolutely new. And I needed time for the results to show up. But if you are committed to the process, the results will always come. Just be patient. My fourth lesson is to focus on your strengths. In my experience, when we are in hard times, it's important to assess the situation we are in, and of course to discover what needs to be changed. But it is also important to find the things you are incredibly good at. So when you are having a rough time, take an inventory of those positives, and here comes the important part, write it down. My fifth lesson is a mental activity. I am a great believer it is very important how our mental state is when we sit in front of a client, and of course in our personal life as well. So let me share one practice I do. Once a month or even a week, please write down the answer to this question. If I am the most important person in my life, what do I need to feel okay? And you can cover different areas: family, health, spirituality, finances. This will help you to think as a whole person as well. And there is one bonus idea. It is the most important of everything, and it is to do it from your heart. We have one of the noblest professions. We save families. We help children to get educations. We help people to create the retirement of their dreams. And the only way to do it is to do it from deep inside your heart, because what comes from here always works, I guarantee it. For me, it was March of 2016. What is your March? You don't even have to wait for March to show up. Make a decision, find your central, commit to your goals, focus on your strengths, be in the right mental state, and if you do all that and do it from your heart, you will make a difference. Bad days, bad childhoods can either be an excuse or a motivator. Choose well.